What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I wanted to share with y'all my back routine, whether you want a bigger, a wider, a thicker back, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to do any fancy edits in this video. I just genuinely want to share what my routine is looking like nowadays. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's commentary. Today we have a back day, so let's go ahead and let's dive right into it. My warm-up is the same, whether it be a pull day or a push day. I do have the same warm-up. I always start my warm-up with some foam rolling of the upper back or thoracic spine, really focusing on extending over that foam roller. I do spend most of my day at the desk, at the computer, hunched over, so this just kind of helps bring everything back, this just helps me feel really open and sets me up for success for a good workout. So after that, I will move on to some band pull-aparts. These I incorporate to kind of get the rear delts, the upper back, the rhomboids, all those kind of stabilizer muscles that are hugely important if you want to lift heavy weight and do it properly on a pull day. It's just a really good exercise to get everything warmed up. And after that, yeah, I'll follow it up with some external rotations, some banded external rotations, focusing on really keeping my elbows close to my body, and then another external rotation exercise for the rotator cuff, but this time keeping my my arm horizontal to the ground. I do always tend to have issues with my left shoulder, and I have ever since I first started lifting, but incorporating consistent rotator cuff exercises kind of helps mitigate any pain or discomfort that I feel, and just helps me feel really good, really warmed up for my workout. So after that, the final warm-up exercise I do is an incline Y raise, and these are great for warming up the shoulders, but I specifically do this to warm up that lower trap. I feel like the lower traps are something that's kind of neglected a lot in most people's training regimen, and hugely important postural muscle, and just kind of focusing on feeling that, not only the lower chest, but all those surrounding muscles warmed up. And by this point, I feel ready to start the workout. So for this workout, I started with some pull-ups, bodyweight pull-ups. Sometimes I'll do weighted pull-ups. Kind of just depends on what my goals are for the day. Today, the pull-up was not my main movement, so I'm kind of using it as a warm-up / still pushing myself sort of thing. So I do make sure to retract my shoulder blades before every single rep. That's just works. It's just like the best way to honestly engage your lats, engage your upper back. Make sure you're using good form, so keep the shoulder blades retracted. You should be good to go. After the pull-ups, I moved on to some barbell bent over row, and these have been hugely important, hugely crucial, especially lately in bringing up my back. I've never done these consistently until about 1 month ago, and I've been really enjoying it. One main thing to keep in mind with the barbell bent over row, it's pretty much a Romanian deadlift, right? When you're in that bottom position, it's the same as a Romanian deadlift. So when you get into the starting position, you want to send your hips straight back, keeping that neutral spine, and then rowing the bar into your lower abdomen. If you really want to just target the entire back. As you can see, with 225, I'm using a little bit too much momentum, in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to work on minimizing any momentum, perhaps lightening the load, and then going from there. So barbell bent over row was kind of my main strength movement for this workout. After that, I moved on to some lat pull downs, and lat pull downs, the main thing, same as the pull-ups, right? You want to keep your shoulder blades retracted, and with pull downs especially, the best thing I can tell you guys is to lead with the elbows. If you lead with the elbows, you are going to feel a much stronger back contraction. You are going to just engage many more muscles in the entire back. Because think about it, if you grip the bar, the handle too hard, you are going to use a lot of forearm to kind of move the weight. So if you can keep the grip light, lead with the elbows, you're going to be using mostly back. Sometimes if I'm using a bar, I will make sure to use straps. I don't want to make straps like a regular thing, just because I do still want to improve my grip strength. But straps are a very good tool if you struggle to feel your back in any pulling movement, not just lat pull downs. So after lat pull downs, I moved on to some serratus pull downs / lat pull over, whatever you want to call it. Most of the time I do superset my lat pull downs with my pullovers, but the machines were just too far away in this gym, so I did them separately. But with pull downs, really focusing on keeping my chest up, feeling it in my lats, not my triceps. I do like to keep a pretty steep angle, and then as I reach failure, I kind of change the angle of my torso to kind of target a different part of the muscle. You're not targeting a different muscle, obviously. You're still doing the same movement, but sometimes changing the angle can help you crank out a few more reps. And this is just like also just a hugely underrated exercise for back width, back thickness, and it's a really good way of isolating the lats and just general back muscles. So after that, I moved on to some shrugs, which I have been doing consistently for the first time ever for like the last month. As everything started, so my physique kind of started to fill out a little bit, and I started putting on muscle. Like, yeah, like my traps grew like a little bit, but it started to become a really noticeable weak point in my physique, just my tiny traps. So I said, okay, I gotta just start doing some shrugs. So I've been doing barbell shrugs consistently, dumbbell shrugs too. Sometimes I'll do my shrugs with the trap bar, but the main idea stays the same. I'm focusing on just bringing my shoulders to my ears and really squeezing as much as I can. I always feel these the next day, and it's just a really good, specifically traps are a really good muscle to train if you want to add that muscle density and just overall thickness. So would highly recommend that. After that, I finished off with 2 bicep movements, one to target kind of bicep fullness and size, the other one to target the bicep peak. So the first one was a dumbbell incline curl, which for me specifically, I do struggle with mind muscle connection with my bicep. A lot of times my forearm really wants to take over, but especially with these, and if you set the angle, like if you set the bench closer to horizontal with the floor, you're gonna get such a deep stretch in the bottom position, and it just helps me a lot with feeling my biceps and adding in some mass and density into my biceps as well. And then, yeah, to focus on the peak after that, I added on some dumbbell spider curls, and these are especially good because you can't use any momentum. Like, literally the only muscle working is the biceps, and your like gravity is really working against you in this movement. So I do have to go really light, but the contraction that I feel is like second to none. So I've been doing both of those movements to kind of target my biceps, which have also been a weak point. But yeah, that's pretty much what a normal pull day looks like for me. I will shift things around. Sometimes, I'll put pull-ups towards the end. Sometimes I'll do some Smith machine, bent over rows if I have access to that machine. Other times I'll do some trap bar shrugs, or I might throw biceps in a little sooner in the workout, but it's like the basic thing kind of stays the same. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video right here. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope you were able to take something away, whether it be like some small snippet of advice or how to do a certain exercise. That's my goal. So gonna end the video right here. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. As I'm filming this, I'm back in Houston, so this was my last workout in Iowa. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. I will see y'all next time.